English now. So thank you so much, Andrew, for this kind of opportunity. I am here because, of course, we have an agreement between Totalvisa and INX Academy, and I am so happy to have an agreement with you. So nice to meet you, Andrew.
Nice to meet you.
So I have like couple questions here that maybe you can explain us, better, because you have a lot of experience. You told me before this meeting, you told me about that you have a lot of experience like an English teacher. You told me that you was in Japan. For me, right. it's a really nice place that I want to visit for the future. But of course, we are here because Totalvisa have an agreement between INX Academy, and that's the reason that I am here. I would like that maybe you can explain a little bit about how can you get the student visa. I don't want to, like the huge information about the change of status, because I know that this kind of process is like complicated process.
Can be, yeah.
But okay, the first question that I have for you is, do you guys provide the I-24 for the F1 visa?
Yes. So anytime a student applies here, if they get the student visa and all that stuff, we're the ones that issue your I-20 for the period that you're going to be studying at our school.
Nice. It's good to hear that, because some students, when they start this kind of process, maybe they can say like, okay, Totalvisa have an agreement. Of course, you are here, and you can explain them that right. Totalvisa have has this kind of agreement that it's really good for someone that is from South America, and they would like to come in here with a student visa, or maybe Totalvisa can help them with the change of status, right?
Of course, yeah, and we have a lot of students from South America. I was just telling you earlier about how we've had about, I'd say around 37% of our students have been from Brazil alone, and then probably I'd say around at least 20-25% or more of our other students are also from other Latin American countries.
Yeah, because for me it's really impressive that it's not only students from South America. You told me about you show me this the how many countries, like people from Russia, you told me, right?
Yeah, we've had a good number from Russia.
Around how many students approximately in Russia?
From Russia itself, we've had 50 students in the last 3.5 years.
Nice.
And then you can also add to that probably about 15 or 20 more from other Russian-speaking countries or related countries like Ukraine, Belarus, Azerbaijan, Turkmenistan. Yeah, that's
really impressive. And you told me that you was there in Russia, right? That's the reason that's the reason that you can have a good communication with them.
Yeah, I try.
Okay, so and the next question, can you help with the changing status from a tourist visa to the student visa, student status?
Yeah, we have that all the time. We have students that go through the change of status process, and we can help with that, and we can answer questions and give recommendations about whether or not it's the right decision to use a lawyer or to go through it to somebody else to help you, or to do it on your own, whatever works best for your situation.
Because it's good to explain this kind of situation, because I told you before, some English school prefer to do it just with immigration attorney, but of course you are here and you explain us like you can do it by yourself, you can do it with a study agency like Totalvisa, or you can do it with the immigration attorney. It depends, right?
Right.
So you are free to choose these options, right?
Yeah, for sure. And we can help with giving advice about what the best approach is for you.
Yeah, it's good to know that, because sometimes, if you are trying to be international students, this kind of process is really stressful. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah, of course.
So it's really stressful. But so the next question, what English level do you need to start the student visa program?
There's not really a minimum level that you need. At the moment, we have a pretty wide range of levels that we can teach. Our lowest level right now is beginner, which is pretty basic level. There is the possibility that people might be like very fundamental, like very, very low level. But even in those cases, beginner level is still probably, you can still manage that.
Yeah, this question is really important because, for example, I had a conversation with one customer from Peru, and he told me like, yeah, I would like to study, in USA to improve my English, but I don't know anything about English. And I explained to him like, you don't need to know, you don't need to know like, all the, you don't need, I don't know how to explain this one, but it's like, you don't pretend to be an intelligent guy that you can speak English very well, because of course you would like to come in here to USA to trying to speak English. It's like, don't pretend like, oh my god, I need to know how to speak English. It's like, it's not like that.
Right, of course. And that's our job, is to help you learn.
Of course, we are here.
Yeah, and part of the process when you come to our school is before you start your classes, we do a series of tests to make sure that you're at the right level. We talk to you, we have a conversation, we have you write a little bit. You do a kind of a grammar and listening test as well.
Good to know that.
Yeah, we look at all of that together and figure out what the right class is for you, and then based on your level, you're in a class with a teacher and classmates that are best for you.
Yeah, I think is the best decision that that you can feel comfortable with this kind of situation, because like international student, if your main point is to come in here to USA to improve your English, like, hey, feel comfortable with that. So that's the reason that INX Academy, can tell you like, okay, maybe your English need to, like, you have to study for the level 3, level 4, something like that.
Right,
it's correct?
Yeah, well, we call them beginner, pre-intermediate, intermediate.
Correct.
Yeah, we have, and there's different ways of expressing.
Yeah, different ways, because some English school is like level 1, level 2, level 3,
yeah,
level
or like
4.
A1, A2, AB, yeah.
Yeah. So the next question, do you have flexible start dates during the year for new students?
They're somewhat flexible. We basically start a new term every 4 weeks.
Oh,
and so
nice.
Typically, you want to start at the beginning of a term. We don't accept students in the middle of a term, but again, it's every 4 weeks, and so the longest you'll have to wait is another month, but before the next term starts.
Yeah, I agree with you, and that's the reason that sometimes I have customers, from South America, that they told me like, hey, I would like to study as soon as possible. Okay, don't worry about it. I can help you, to record all the information in your DS-160, and then you can get an appointment, and then you can study. You can come in here to INX Academy in 1 month.
Yeah,
you're right. It's really simple process if you do it with with professionals like us, because sometimes it's like, oh my god, what does mean an I-20, what does mean a SEVIS, I don't know, this kind of process. Who can help me with that? So, but well,
it helps to have somebody that knows all that means to help you.
Yeah, because for me, I told you that I had the opportunity to was in California, and I was a J1, and I know that you have a lot of like international students that they prefer to decide to change their status from J1 to F1, and even for them, because they know about what does mean a social security, what does mean a savings, and they told me like, dude, it's another universe. It's another universe, because
it's confusing.
It's confusing, even for you, right? You told me that, right?
It's the kind of thing that I only know what I know because I work here, and
of course,
it would be hard just to go into that with no prior knowledge and try to figure it out by yourself. So that's why it's nice to have help through that whole process.
But it's good to have this kind of conversation, because even for you it's like, okay guys, I understand, this kind of process is stressful, but believe me, if you come in here to INX Academy, we can help you with that. Right,
for sure.
Okay, perfect. So can I pay the tuition in parts, or do I need to pay everything up front? I think it's a good question, that one.
I mean, generally you would pay tuition before the term begins, just for each term.
Okay,
and
perfect.
So you would have to, before your first day of class, you would need to pay your tuition for that first month, and then after that, it's just by the end of that term, you pay your tuition for the next month. And if you need to, I mean, I guess if you want to pay in installments up until that deadline, you can. But yeah, it's just basically you're paying month by month.
Okay, it's really, really important, this kind of information, because sometimes when you see the prices here, it's like, oh my god, I have to pay the full amount, and it's not like that. I really like INX Academy, because explain this kind of situation, like if you can afford it to pay the full tuition, go for it.
Sure.
Go for it. So it's not problem about that.
Right.
But if you would like to pay 1 month, and wait for another month, you can do it, right?
You just pay month by month. Yeah, that's fine.
That's good.
Like even if you're planning to be here for a whole year, you don't have to pay for a year of tuition at once. You just pay as you go.
Yeah, and it's good. It's good that you can explain this kind of situation, because sometimes I have like international students that they tell me, yeah, I would like to go to New York to study there, and I explain them like, okay, but you have to pay the full tuition,
right?
And they told me like, okay, you know what, I prefer to stay here in Utah.
Yeah.
I prefer to stay here in Utah, and I explain to them like, I feel like this is a good advantage here. This is a good advantage here that we live here in Utah, because we can afford it, these kind of prices. Because for me, in my case, I'm an international student, and I feel like, you know, every single month is like, okay, I can afford it, I can pay that price. But I had like students that they are in New York right now, and they told me like, dude, it's like really expensive. And I explained to them, you have these kind of options, you can choose whatever you want. If you feel comfortable to study in New York, go for it. If you feel comfortable to study in Utah, go for it. So you are free to choose. So you are really free to choose the best option for you.
Right, I agree.
Okay. So how many hours per week are the classes for F1 student?
The classes for an F1 visa, you have to be in class for 18 to 20 hours per week.
And you need to come in here, right?
Right,
it's
they are
not
in
like
person.
Virtual classes or something like that.
Yeah, they
Online classes or something like that.
about
right?
2 years ago they stopped having online classes.
Yeah, because
like
about the pandemic time.
Right, yeah.
Right?
For a while we were able to do fully online classes, and then we did partial online, partial in person. But now we're not allowed to have any online classes at all.
Yeah.
It's in-person class for a minimum of 18 hours per week, and your attendance does need to be 80% or more of that time. And so you can afford to be absent once in a while, but the standard is 18 to 20 hours per week.
But the point is, like, you need to be in person here,
Yes.
not online classes, because I heard about international students that they told me like, yeah, that English school offered me online classes. It's like, okay, go for it, because I didn't heard about that.
Basically, as far as I understand, the only way that you can take online classes is if you're staying in your country and taking classes online.
Yeah.
You cannot take online classes for a student F1 visa.
Thank you so much for this advice, because believe me, I have like several customers that they explain me trying to find English school that just offer online classes, and I explain to them as soon as possible, I can't do it. I can't do it, because believe me, I know for really good people that this kind of, they know this business, and they told me like, dude, believe me, no one offered to you online classes here. And it's good to know this kind of information. And the last question for you, Andre. So what is the best advice for you if, for example, I am from Peru and I would like to come in here to INX Academy? What is the first step? What is the first step that you would like to, if you would like to study here in INX Academy?
I think an important first step is to decide exactly what your goals are and what your vision is for your experience.
Right.
Do you want to just come here, learn English, and kind of just get an experience? Do you have specific goals for your education or your career? And that can help you decide about a timeline, where you want to go, things like that. As well as, do your research into where you're going to go as well.
Okay.
Salt Lake City is a particular place that isn't for everybody.
And I agree with you.
Right.
I agree with you, because some people prefer like, every single weekend, like to do it activity, something like that, and I agree with you, because people can feel comfortable to live in Salt Lake City. Some people, they prefer to go another place, but in this case you explain it's the best option for you is what you want, right?
Yeah, exactly. And Salt Lake is great. It's a nice place to be because it's affordable.
I agree with you.
And you also get more of a big city kind of experience than you would in some other smaller towns.
Yeah.
But you don't have to spend a ton of money like living in New York or San Diego. And so there's definitely a balance here. And some of the unique things about Salt Lake and Utah is if you really like the outdoors, if you like hiking and camping and things like that, amazing place to be.
I agree with you. for sure. Some students thinking about it like is, okay, I would like to study in USA to improve my English. Yeah, I have to go there just study, and it's not like that, because
Right.
you told me about you was in what part?
We went to, for our trips.
Oh yeah,
We went to
yeah.
Yellowstone.
You told me Yellowstone, right?
Yeah, we took a trip to Yellowstone National Park. The year before that, we went to Zion National Park. This year we're going to go to the Grand Canyon.
Nice.
So we like to give our students experiences, at least opportunities to do some of the amazing things
Yeah.
that they can do here. Because a lot of things that happen, a lot of times what happens with students is that they feel like they don't know where to go to really
That's true.
get the full
That's true.
experience.
That's true.
And so we try to give them those opportunities,
Yeah.
especially with things that maybe they don't even know about.
That's true.
Like we went on a hike to Donut Falls. You wouldn't really know about that, but it's a beautiful place.
It's a beautiful place,
Yeah.
and I was there, and believe me, it's a nice experience.
Yeah.
I was there with my friends, but in this case, you told me like, yeah, I prefer to go there with my students, because
Yeah.
this kind of unique experience is like, an important experience for you to see that USA, it's a nice place to come in here to improve your English,
Yeah.
to see this kind of amazing places here in Utah.
Mhm.
Believe me, I was in Wisconsin, I was in California, but I don't know why, but I feel comfortable in this place. This place has a unique experience.
Yeah, and I know what it's like to live in a foreign country and want to get the best experience possible
Right,
there.
right.
And so we try to make sure our students have opportunities.
That's
to,
true. That's true. That's true.
While you're here, whether you're here for just a few months or a few years or longer,
Mhm.
you want to get a chance to visit the Grand Canyon, for example.
That's true.
Or the Yellowstone, or the Bonneville Salt
Yeah.
Flats, things like that.
Mhm.
And it can be hard to just do that on your own.
Yeah.
And so if there's a time when the school is planning a trip, that's a
Yeah.
great opportunity.
Yeah, and I feel like if like INX Academy planning this kind of opportunities, this kind of experience is like, oh, okay, you know what? Yeah, I was in INX Academy 2 years ago, and for me it was a great experience for me.
Mhm.
So this kind of experience, I feel like international students, it's a unique experience,
Mhm.
and you say about that. So Andrew, thank you so much, seriously,
My pleasure.
for this interview. Thank you for explaining to for my future customers that they would like to come into Utah to study here in INX Academy. For sure, this place is a nice place to visit, because it's right here in Salt Lake City.
Mhm, yeah.
It's in Salt Lake City. You can come in here even with the public transportation here.
Yeah.
It's really nice. It's a really nice place to visit. For me, like a general manager for Totalvisa, it's really important to share this kind of information with the future international students, because they would like to know if like a study agency like Totalvisa can offer this kind of service. And of course, I explained like so many times, this kind of agreement is because in this case INX Academy believe in my job,
Mhm.
believe in my experience, believe that I can help to you to come in here to USA. And of course, I don't wanna say like, yeah, of course you would like to would you like to come in here to USA? Okay, for sure I can help you with that, and you can get your F1 visa. It's not like that. I explained to them, hey guys, if we can put everything in order, if I can help to you with the I-20, if I can help to you, how can you get your service receipt? Everything, it will be okay. Depends on you. Depends on if you feel comfortable with that. And that's the reason that I explained so many times. You can do it by yourself. You can do it with a study agency, or you can do it with immigration attorney. But the advantage that you can do it with Totalvisa is like we can help you with this kind of process. So thank you so much again, Andrew.
Of course, thank you.
So I would like to come in, so maybe for the near future, because this place is amazing. Salt Lake City is amazing, and I think INX Academy, it's a good English school that international students can come in here to study. So
Thank you.
thank you guys. See you next time.
Thanks.